It is the calm before the storm. We are literally 1 week away, I believe, maybe 1 week and 1 day from the brand new big DM mod update dropping. And we've got a big update today for Duel Links because we've got our first look at the brand new DM All-Star skin. We've got a brand new Rush Duel box and some more things to go through. So first of all, of course, is going to be the new crystal currency. And the fact they are revising the prices a week after it's been implemented in a bunch of countries. I was kind of holding off talking about the currency because, you know, on the offset it looked not great, and then we saw a new sale come out and it was really good, right, for the price you got, and then this came out and now it's like, is that going to change the calculation for so many countries? Probably. We've then got this DM mod countdown bonus, which is pretty cool. Every day getting 50 gems. There's also a daily box ship mission as well, but here it says up to 8 can be cleared per day, but that's wrong. It's you know, it's 1 per day, which is really dumb why they've worded it that way. I don't really get it. We can now see the All-Star for Kaiba, and it is DM Kaiba, right? It's Duelist Kingdom Kaiba, which we kind of assumed I would have personally preferred we got the Orichalcos Arc Kaiba, given we are getting darts at some point, but it seems like they are going to just be doing a recolor / redraw because he's got his same pose like that, right? That he does in DM mode when you win with him. So that's kind of disappointing. Now you could say, oh, but Yugi has his pointy pose, and that may not be the in-game pose because it is the key art, and Konami never used the key art for animations in Duel Links. Right? The only time they've used it in Duel Links in-game is for promotional things or for this home screen thing right here. Right? This one for Yugi is the 5Ds world, when every other character has their promotional picture for their world, and so that is what I think it will come into play. Could it? Sure, because it's going to be kind of awkward if the only change for Yugi is his cape has been removed, and like maybe some bangles added. Like that's a really poor alt-style, so maybe because the difference isn't as drastic, we'll change the pose. That could also be happening as well. We'll have to wait and see, but at the moment, it does feel like a bit of a low-effort outing. When you'd think DM World, right, their most popular series, they'd want to go all out. And of course, we have a brand new box for Duel Links. That's the completely wrong one. Thank you, Konami, for showing me this one. I wanted to see the brand new Dagba box, High Dragon of Solid Strike. Now, this is a bit of a weird box overall, right? In terms of the card pool, we've got support for dragons, we've got Magnum Overlord support, we've got 100 Divine Dragon getting a reprint, and the dealer as well, from Selection Box 3 that came out in June, sorry, so it's been 3 months. That's really quick. Accessibility-wise, that's really good. But in terms of like giving selection box buyers their value, doesn't feel that great. Right, if you compare it to Speed Duel, right, where you know Armageddon Knight is still 18-19 months outside of a reprint, I know which one I prefer, but in terms of like holding the value, Speed Duel has been doing it better, I guess. But overall the box is fine, right, in terms of new cards. We've got, of course, had Lady, which is a vanilla ultra rare that is not going to be very good right now. And it becomes good down the line with their own support cards, but the reason why she's ultra rare, and you've got like a Meek Channel super rare, is because she has an Overrush rare that can sell you in the future. There's also one for Secret Order, and a brand new skill with it. Surprisingly, there is no Order reprint in the box. And probably that's because they wanted to go into the selection box to get the reprint version that includes her. But down the line, I assume, we'll get the Overrush rare with that variant, and so that will be a bit of a wasted purchase, I guess. So finally, getting Metal Gear Star F. This card is a really cool boss, right? It's either a buff for your guys by 500 and you can attack twice, or it gives all your monsters trap protection and then can attack twice. And so you either choose, do you want protection, or do you want the boost? And a lot of times, at the moment, probably going to be the boost, because right now, I think Widespread is the only real target you've got to kind of worry about with this card. And so if you send the Legend card, the Legend Trap card be destroyed, then you know you're kind of clear to go in with the big attack point buff. Also, there is the new Phantom Dragon. There's a Scholar Searcher's card out, and his role is to make summoning into these guys and get their effects off easier. So these will require the discard of a level 7 dragon, and so if you haven't seen that dragon, then you can't attack twice, and this card gives you that option. So if you summon into one of your level 7s, you summon this, put in defense mode, it can attack twice. Or better yet, if one of these survives a turn, you can summon this, make a card attack twice, sacrifice this for another big dragon, and then have 2 big bodies potentially with 4 attacks in a turn, if there's discard in hand, which could be really big. And so it'll be fun to see how dragons kind of do with new support. That'll be cool. Of course, a brand new skill for them as well. There's a buff on the existing Luke skill but does require you 4 Dark Dragons in your deck, but that's going to be perfectly fine. And finally, is probably the best cards in the box, is going to be Supreme Rare Artillery Magnum Overlord. Now, we saw last box in the mini box that we got a new Magnum Overlord card, and it's a floodgate. It becomes even bigger depending on the bodies on your opponent's field, and so this card has a lot to live up to, but I think it's also pretty good. So you send out card decks to graveyard, it gains tap points, then if it's in the 3-piece maximum mode, this card can't shot by card effects until the end of your opponent's next turn, meaning it's safe from Hammer Shot from Troops of the Doomed, which is really, really big. Right, that is so good. And so it means your opponent is forced out of this by battle, which not many decks can do. Of course, more can right now, but in the duel, you might find this buys you a turn or two. Then we've got the left piece, which is your interruption. If there's 10 more cards in your graveyard and another monster on the field, so it's by itself or in the maximum mode, shuffle 3 monsters from the graveyards into the deck. Any graveyard. So if you're against Music Princess, for example, you can shove back their materials into their deck, making so they have to draw into them and turn off their graveyard fusion. Then if it's in the 3-piece maximum mode, you can shove this card back to your opponent's deck. If you do, you draw 3 cards. Now, the idea probably is to use this effect, right? You're going to get rid of the cards in your opponent's graveyard, or shuffle your own back, and then draw into 3, potentially see the Beast Theme, for example. You summon that card out, and you've got a Floodgate, a big 4,000 plus body on your field, and attack it, or go for Magnum Overlord, you play the effect, and OTK that turn. That could be a thing that happens. Now, this is kind of fueled again by the right piece, in that you're sending a monster from out of graveyard, you're doing some damage, and if you're in maximum mode, you deal even more. Now, you're only really getting the best value if you're sending, say, a level 10 to graveyard, but what can you do? Send 10 to graveyard, deal 15 burn damage, then play this effect to put it back to your deck, and then potentially draw 3 into another maximum, summon the maximum, and do it again. If you have the pieces in play to do that, right? There's a thing you can do, and if you get that lucky, then fantastic. Most of the time you probably won't do, but this seems like a pretty cool maximum. However, I don't recommend buying this box right now. I think buying this box a week before the brand new big update, even though it's a speed update, is a bit of a red flag, because we don't know if we're going to be getting a structure deck or a selection box or something else that makes this box even better. And because the sales are the way they are, because it's a deck with box, there is no real fear missing out on the sales, because these sales will be there forever. Right? There's no guaranteed SR sales. It is just the way it is. So at the moment, I'm going to hold off, despite wanting to play the maximum racks I haven't actually played with the current one. So it'd be cool to make a deck with this. I may cave, I may go in, but this box kind of proves the point of Rush Duel Links right now, is that what it's doing is it's selling you on cards you've seen multiple times in box already, right? Menegius, right, was available in an all box as an Overrush rare, and now in another box. That's selling you 3 times on the same card. The same could be said for the Magnum Overlord. And I believe also maybe for Menegius, maybe this is the 2nd time it's been printed, it might be the 3rd, right? So the whole thing of Rush Duel Links is that they're selling you on the same cards over and over and over again, and giving you, 4 or 5 brand new cards at a time. So whilst the box can be a good deal in of itself, for players who are invested, for the people that are actually playing the Rush format, they kind of suck. Now that isn't all. There is more to talk about, because we do have Tokyo Game Show happening this week. And so on Thursday, we have a big stream for the eFootball collab with Yu-Gi-Oh!, with Duel Links and Master, right? I assume they'll talk about all the information there, which they announce, of course, back at Worlds. Now, usually at Tokyo Game Show, we get a stream or a trailer for the new World Update, right? And so they may not do that this year. They might talk about it in this, in this stream. But you would imagine, right, if they are titling it the fact it is eFootball, they'd probably focus on that collab in particular. So I don't know. It might just be because of the update being the way it is, right? Because it's going to be a update to DM World. They don't feel like they need to do a big stream for it, right? That they might not feel that. And so it might get to Friday, we get a brand new trailer in-game, and that's it. That might be what we get. Or we get a trailer here, or we get, bunch of videos throughout the weekend, new information, right? We'll have to wait and see. But it's going to be a really fun week regardless. And also, one more thing as well, they forgot to add the sprite for the new Maximum in Overrush Rare mode. They've got it for the vanilla one, right? For the non-Overrush one, which you can't obtain, but for the one you actually can use in-game, they haven't got the sprite. So at the moment, you're summoning into the purple void of death. So hopefully can I fix that one at some point. Maybe by the time the video goes up, there'll be an update, and it'll have been fixed. Fingers crossed. Hopefully. We'll see. Anyway, again, going to be a fun week in Duel Links. Hopefully we've got some big news to go through towards the end of the week for the big DM World update. That'd be cool. And there may be later in the week or next week, right, a video on the new Duel Links China update because they've got their own DM update coming. And they're getting so much cool DM support that we've got to kind of talk about it. So I'll wait for that to come out in game, and then we'll kind of go through all of that as well. Probably we're going to be on the 29th, I imagine. That'll be when that drops, so we'll talk about all that then. But it does say here, you know, new duels are coming soon. What does new duels mean? Because that could mean literally anything. It could mean anything.